So I've already asked the question, what do you do with a pinhole card? And my answer to that question is you stick the pin back in them and you stick them to the wall just like the original owner intended. And that's what you see in this video right now. Roberto Clemente, Sandy Koufax, Dan Musial, and Ernie Banks. Let me tip Ernie a little bit, straighten him out. The next question that I have is related in a similar, what I guess you could call a defacing of the card, but I sort of enjoy certain versions of it. And the question is, what do you do with a marked up card? A card that has been, somebody took a pen and wrote on and did something to alter the card with their own ink, and not the ink from Topps, but the ink from Bic or whatever roller pen they used that day. And I'll give you an example of one of the cards that has been marked up that interested me. And this is Tim McCarver, who I came to know as an announcer for the Mets in the 1980s. He was also a veteran catcher who caught famously over 5 different decades. He caught the greats, Bob Gibson, Steve Carlton. And as a Tim McCarver fan, as an announcer, I never really saw him play, and I had no idea that he played for the Expos. In fact, he only played for the Expos for half a year. He was traded from the Phillies to the Expos and then right back to the Cardinals 6 months later. So this is, I would say, a one-of-one Tim McCarver Expos card from 1970s Topps before they did traded sets. So I hold on to this card and love it. I think it's great. Similar version of that, and this is a Hall of Famer. Here's Minnie Minoso. You can see down at the bottom, Chicago White Sox is crossed out, and underneath his name, St. Louis Cards is drawn in there. So this is a 1961 traded set Minnie Minoso done by whoever owned this card at the time. So let's put Minnie on the wall here. Next card is similar to that, except it is pretty impactful for a Mets fan like me. This is the 1971 Nolan Ryan card, his last card as a Met. And the Mets traded him to the Angels, and the Mets clearly did not quite know what they had when they traded him for Jim Fregosi, I think others. I'm not sure what that whole trade was. But you can see here at the top, the word Mets is scribbled out hardcore in ballpoint pen, and the word Angels is scribbled over the Royal Crown billboard in right field at Shea Stadium. Nolan Ryan would go on to dominate as a American League pitcher for the Angels and the Rangers, and then the Astros, and then the Rangers. And, you know, although he won a World Series title with the Mets in 1969, he never really sort of realized his full potential in Flushing, which is such a shame. But at least I have this traded card of a great pitcher. I also love that the words Royal and Crown frame his name or his head in that picture, because he would ultimately become the strikeout king. And then I have a final marked up card that really is a sort of crossover and is sort of feels like a culturally significant card. The year was 1971-72, so this is 1971-72, and this is a Topps card, and this is a basketball card, and it is a Lou Alcindor card. This was Lou Alcindor's last card when he used the name Lou Alcindor. He changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And I could only imagine what it was like for the kid who owned this card, who knew Lou Alcindor as a great dominating center in the NBA. And then he changed his name to the Muslim name Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What a cultural moment for him, for the country, and whoever owned this card decided to make a note of that by crossing out his name, Lou Alcindor, down there, and writing in just the nicest penmanship, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Can you read that? Look how tiny that writing is. I'm so impressed by that. Anyway, this is like one of my favorite cards of all time. And I'm going to put that there. Anyway, so this is my answer to the question, what do you do with a marked up card? When there's some meaning or some use to the markings, I really like it, and I love it so much that I put it on my Holy Grail wall along with my Pinhole cards, which I'll show you again down here. So, Kareem and Nolan and Minnie Minoso join the ranks of the legends. And that's what I do with a marked up card. Thank you.